Alright everybody, I don't know if it's working or not. It may not be working at all. I'm trying something here. This is all new, so give me just a minute. And I want to turn some things off here that I normally can let run at DLive, and let me see if that helps out any. See if that helps out any at all. Well, that seemed to have helped out a little bit, turning off one of the background videos. Alright, now let me check the other. I don't know if it's awesome. Error, now it's not receiving enough. I don't know. I have no idea if this is working at all or not. Anyway, I may go to a black screen here in a minute. We'll just see how that works as long as the microphone's on. Well, I'll tell you what, let me just go straight into some screen sharing and I'll go over some news. That's really all I'm here for today. Hope you're all doing well. Hey there, Mr. John Hart Crane. It's awful good to see you. I'm so glad you showed up. I hope the rain bomb don't get you down. Hope you avoid all the catastrophe that comes with them. See, I have something light to start with. Well, I call it a little light. Here the computer clicks. Yeah, I can't do much about that yet. I'm trying to be gentle. I'm working on that myself. I think. Let's see. Main thing is, oh man, want to open? Cool. All right. Let me change the. Let's get over here where I'm just sharing what I can see on the screen, and we'll get straight past all of the other stuff. Everybody can get an overview of it. Stuff. So I think I got it all in there. Anyway, for protection. Now apparently it is also a place for a slide 4 stories tall, and they named it Helter Skelter. 55-foot tall slide inside the cathedral in England. It's there if you want to read it. I mean, look, there's a slide in that. Come on, people. We're getting close to the end. Alright. Let's just stick that in there and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. I've been saving that to go over it really quickly, in case anybody comes up with it. Okay, let's see. That's where they're trying to separate us into classes. We don't even need to read any more about that. Alright. Let's go ahead and get rid of well, I'm probably going to end up with a computer locking up, nothing working properly. We'll see. It appeared that it was going to work well, but you know how it is sometimes. Yeah, on that in the chat a minute ago, he was talking about being exhausted. Man, I fight that too. If my internal will wasn't to get up and do the things I had to do, and I'd let exhaustion overrun me, I could definitely let it happen pretty quickly. Okay, I want to show you. Can't see screen sharing. I don't know why. Let me, it says it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I may have to try to do this at night too on YouTube. Let's see. At times it appears it's getting excellent. And then at times it appears it's not doing anything. Let me see something. Let me remove this and see if this helps. Yeah, if you can still hear me, my computer shows me that I'm screen sharing. But then YouTube shows me that it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will receive. But my broadcast stuff says it's actually in the green. YouTube's the one telling me that it sucks, which I don't get. And it also tells me I'm screen sharing. I'm gonna try something. I'm refreshing something right here. It's not showing it to be screen sharing on my version of the YouTube lookback either. Screen did change. Good, good. Okay. Now my refresh is coming back up, and I should be back on par in just a second. All right. I think we'll be back online now. So you know how you get used to laying in or sitting or being in one position, you have everything with you, and then all of a sudden when something goes wrong, you flip everything off to the side and wow, there it goes. I don't really know what I did. I just think my internet got a little better all of a sudden really quickly. Something like that happened anyway. Okay, let me get back to my area right here. Start over. Okay. Turn that ringer off just in case that goes to dinging again. All right. Round 2. A flight attendant has died who contracted measles after a person infected with the disease boarded a flight from New York City, according to Israeli media reports. Remember that because I'm going to show you the Israeli media reports. I'll get it all together in a second. Israel's Ministry of Health confirmed that a person infected with measles was on board an El Al Airlines flight from New York City to Israel on March 26. There are ongoing measles outbreaks in Israel and New York. And then they tell you can visit Insider's homepage for more stories. An El Al Airlines flight attendant who contracted measles after a person with the disease boarded a flight to Israel has died, according to Israel National News. Israel's Ministry of Health confirmed that a person infected with measles was on board El Al Airlines Flight 002 from New York City's John F. Kennedy Airport to Tel Aviv on March 26th. And on and on and on. Okay. On April 4th, Insider reported that a 43-year-old female flight attendant was hospitalized with measles. A few weeks later, she reportedly fell into a coma. Israel National News reported that she was then transferred to the quarantine section of Mir Medical Center's intensive care wing of Kfar Saba, Israel, and pronounced dead on Tuesday. Now, this is the American story. We get on down to the bottom. It tells us what the measles is, caused by a virus. And then it tells us it's so contagious that 90% of non-immunized individuals or non-immune individuals. This woman had her immunizations, but she didn't get two. Who get close to an infected person are also likely to become infected. According to the CDC, symptoms usually begin with a fever, cough, and rash. In 1 or 2 of every 1,000 cases in children, complications such as pneumonia or brain swelling can be fatal, as can it be with a lot of things. Then it gives you about the vaccinations, the MMR, prevent measles, blah, blah, blah. All of the propaganda that goes along with a measles story, what you need to do. And at the bottom, adult vaccines, what you need to know and when. Push, push, push. Look, I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you not to get vaccinated. I'm telling you to be smart enough citizen. There's so much information available to you. Go find the information and make an informed decision on your own about what happens to you and your children. Don't take my word for it. Don't take your doctor's words for it. You have the ability to look at the information and make your own decisions. And that's what you really ought to do. Okay, but that's the over here version, the United States version. Now, breaking Israel news says, and I need to get rid of that. Contrary to popular belief, Israeli flight attendant did not die of measles. These stories came out on the same day. When a person has on the skin of his body a swelling, a rash, or a discoloration, and it develops into a scaly affection on the skin of his body, it should be reported to Aaron the Kohen or to one of his sons, the Kohanium, Leviticus 13:3. Israel Bible. I don't really know what that has to do with this, but it's the first line. Roughly 5 months after she was diagnosed with measles, 43-year-old flight attendant Rodom Amital Zul passed away on Tuesday. And although many mainstream media outlets would have their readers believe that she died of the measles, new developments reveal that she died from a completely different disease. This was confirmed, and I don't understand. There's like a typing error here or something. The flight attendant became infected with an infectious bacterium during hospitalization and may be the source of her condition deterioration. Although she did catch the measles when she was admitted into the hospital, it was discovered that she was not only diagnosed with the measles, but was also infected with an unidentified aggressive bacteria that she contracted while in the hospital, reports Army Radio. So although the measles disease was what brought her to the hospital, it is likely not what killed her. Alright, well, let's check something out. She was a flight attendant. She worked on airplanes. And just yesterday, this come out. Let me see if I can make sure no videos start playing, because I don't really know what would happen if that happened. That could be bad. Delta plane fills with mist before takeoff, confuses passengers. Talk about fright on a flight. Delta Airlines passengers who traveled from Florida to New York on Sunday night were in for a scary sight when a fog-like mist engulfed the cabin before takeoff. Let me tell y'all something. If a fog-like mist had engulfed the cabin of an airplane that I was in before takeoff, I'm coming off that plane one way or the other. Now, it might be peacefully, or it may be in handcuffs, or it may be that the plane is inoperable with the window broke. But it's not leaving the ground if it's filling up with mist and I'm on it. Guaranteed. I'm assuming everything is working right now. Okay. Gonna just assume. No, we don't want the solitaire collection. You know, sometimes it just goes bad on me, so I have to check it out. Okay. It says that not only did the crew fail to explain the unsettling scene, it instead made a joke of it. Delta Flight 100 was waiting to depart Jacksonville for John F. Kennedy, and the mist started to fill up the cabin, seemingly from the plane's air conditioner vents. Remember that. That could be important later if you're still listening to me. People reports. I'll show you the People article in a minute. Passenger Amanda Goncalves, who filmed the foggy sight in must-see footage obtained by Fox News, said that the odorless fog confused many passengers. I'm sure it did. I'm sure it drove them all completely insane. And the fact that that plane left the ground after that happened just goes to show how sleep everybody really is, and not, man, that's... The flight attendants didn't really make an announcement. They just said that they were practicing for their Halloween haunted house and kind of made a joke of it, instead of saying it was like from the humidity or condensation. Another passenger echoed similar sentiments, pointing out that the fog may have upset anxious flyers. No crap! I'm not a nervous flyer per se, neither were the people I was with, thank God. But I think if you're somebody who is already anxious to get on a flight and you didn't necessarily know, I think it would have really caused some more insecurities with flying. Yeah. If you had paid any attention to what's going on in the sky above your head and looked out of your phone, you would have been freaked out too. Anyway, we all get this. It's a blah, blah, blah. It filled up with chemtrails. Okay, you want to know what that's called? Let's see. Well, I'll show you this one here. I think there's a good picture of it without playing a video, maybe. Oh, yeah. I don't think I have to hit start. You see the mist? See the smile? Kind of laughing like, what's going on? Ah! You're dying. You're getting sprayed, like, gassed. Because somebody, it was data. I gotta remember. I've got to remember. Uh-oh. I hear a siren. That's very rare in this little town. Might be a fire truck. I'm not sure. Interesting. I had a Data Taker 10, I think, is the one that told me to look this up. It was awesome that I was able to find it again. And now I can, of course. Anyway, I think it was Data Taker 10. They've been commenting on the videos and told me to look up aerotoxic syndrome. Well, this is what's going on here. I've never seen it that thick before. A retired National Transportation Safety Board investigator to CNN. When the air conditioning system is turned on and you've got cold air meeting whatever temperature the cabin was, it results in condensation. Boy, their answer for everything is magical water vapor, ain't it? I'm not a nervous flyer per se, neither were the people I was with, thank God. Was it 32 degrees? Was it cold enough in there for that condensation to stay in a misty form? I don't think so. They weren't wearing jackets. Was it that cold outside? I don't think so. They didn't have that type of clothing on. It's not that cold anywhere in the United States right now. Oh, look, there's a Southwest plane. We've videoed so many Southwest planes dumping nasty trails across the sky. It's always condensation, right? Well, let me show you this article from The Guardian. So we're not going to drag this out real long today. We're going to get through the news and get it done and get it over with. There are hundreds of sick crew. Is toxic air on planes making frequent flyers ill? Kate Leahy used to work as a cabin crew until she was signed off sick. Then a young colleague died in 2014. She talks to the former staff looking for answers. 3 years ago, Matt Bass, 34, died suddenly in his sleep. According to his father, Charlie, he had been feeling unwell for a few months. He'd lost weight, had digestive and respiratory problems, and suffered from severe fatigue. Anybody else dealing with those problems right now? Only 60% of everybody I talk to is at least dealing with part of those problems, and a good many of the people that I talk to are dealing with all of those problems, and they just really don't know why. They just don't feel good. And they're filled with so many programs that they don't know why, really. They can't see. Just can't see. Matt was cabin crew for British Airways. Funny thing, the first airplane that I caught with a good camera is a British Airways plane. And on the day he died, had returned overnight from Accra, Ghana, by cabin crew standards, a relatively short 6-hour flight. He went for a scheduled MRI scan, hoping to get to the bottom of his ill health. Then in the evening to a crew friend's house in Slough for pizza. After a few hours, he said he needed a rest and went to lie down. When his friends couldn't wake him, they administered CPR. An ambulance arrived and took him to A&E, where paramedics tried to revive him, but he never woke up. This is linked below in the description. It gives a good account of aerotoxic syndrome. I'm not going to go over the whole thing today. I go into these a lot more depth at DLive, and I'm just trying to bring this over to YouTube and get something started over here. This here is a page that has a lot of other stories on it, and I haven't had a chance to go through them yet, but I hope to be able to go through them soon, or at least take a look at them, because this information it's priceless for what we're dealing with. I mean, and then you see something like that go on the runway, and then they just explain it away. Well, passengers' lives are at risk from toxic fumes in cabin, coroner tells airline chiefs. There's hundreds of sick crew. Is toxic air on planes making frequent flyers ill? That's The Guardian. That's the one I'm looking at. So I did get to one article on here, but I want to show you one more. Okay, I want y'all to look here. This is fumeevents.com, and I'm guessing they're combined with aerotoxic.org. I don't know enough about them, but from what I've seen here, I linked it below. I think it's good information. It's the name given to ill health caused by breathing in contaminated air on aircraft. Pilots, cabin crew, and passengers can all suffer from it. The air we breathe in the cabin is bled off from the engines and is known as bleed air. Along the way, it can pick up constituents of fuel, hydraulic fluid, and engine oil. An organophosphate that is neurotoxin is added to the engine oil called triacetyl phosphate. The recirculated air goes through a high-efficiency particulate air filter to screen out dust, bacteria, and viruses. The bleed air is unfiltered. Some contaminants, such as carbon monoxide and TCP, are odorless. The combined chemicals have been described as smelling like sweaty socks, wet dog vomit, or an old musty smell. How many of us have just smelt that in the rain lately? That sweaty sock, wet dog, vomit, or just an old musty smell. I know I've smelt it. It's horrible. I've even noticed that when you're driving in a bad rainstorm, as to where the rain used to would clean your windshield while your wipers were on, now all it does is leave an oily residue, and you can actually feel it with your fingers around here. Every once in a while you get a rain that actually feels like water. These are opinions of fallout, so based on observation, it's all I have. I don't trust much else but my eyes and what I can see, what I can touch, what I can find my own. And after reading this, I did go look at schematics of some airplane engines, and the bleed air thing is definitely dead on. I mean, that is how it's built into airplanes. This document is correct. There's just no way on my computer I can keep every one of those open. I'll try to get them shared some way. But not a whole lot of people's going to want to sit and look at a schematic of an airplane engine. They're available. Type in airplane schematics, airplane engine schematics. These toxins are inhaled. They can damage your lungs, nervous system, brain, heart, and eventually cause cancer as they accumulate in the body. Now for the symptoms. And these are symptoms that everyone's starting to get as they dump these toxins out of the back of the airplanes. And as we see now, when something busts or goes wrong or the switch is flipped on the ground, they just pump it into the cabin. Short-term headache, dizziness, sore throat, nose and eye irritation, breathlessness, cough, flu-like feeling but with normal or low temperature, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, mental confusion, memory loss, fatigue, hot flashes, nerve pain, chemical bronchitis, pneumonia, long-term pain in arms, pins and needles in hands and feet, numbness, muscle pain, weakness, joint pain, chronic fatigue, nerve damage, difficulty finding words, dyslexia, inability to regulate body temperature, and asthma. These are just some of the symptoms. Really? Really? You can suffer from some or all of them depending on what and how much you have been exposed to. Some people will even die from heart failure, brain hemorrhages, or pneumonia. I don't know about y'all, but I know a lot of older people that have died from pneumonia, as to where you used to hear of pneumonia getting some people, but not in the numbers that it does. And look up. You're being sprayed. Your only option right now, is to go to climateviewer.com/nmod, ENMOD, and join that, join the newsletter, and do what you can to support Jim, because that's it. That's all we got right now. Spread the word, push it around. I mean, they're poisoning us with ships in the ocean. They're poisoning us with poisons from the air. They're lighting it all up with electromagnetic Dopplers and NEXRADs and phased ray antennas and little mini harps all over the place. People think, oh harp. Harp's old technology now. We have them where we can triangulate them from many different areas. We can heat and superheat the atmosphere. Harp's a dinosaur. That's the reason you hear so much about it in the mainstream news. They want you to look in that direction now. I try to find what I can in the mainstream and bring it to y'all in these ways. I hope everything is still working right. I think that does it for that. I want to close all of those. And I don't, whoa. I want to show you all this. I need to get over here and check all this out. NASA picks Alabama's Rocket City for lunar lander job. This illustration provided by NASA on Friday, August 16th shows a proposed design for the Artemis program. And they're going to build it in Alabama. Greenbow, Alabama. No, it's not. It's in Huntsville, Alabama, Rocket City. Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville. I need to get over there and check that out and take a tour, I guess. I'm not but a few hours away from it. So we'll see exactly how that goes. Uh-oh. I messed up the... There we go. Anyway, I don't have these links in here because I might do something more with them. I'll get them posted somewhere. They're really just something that was up that I'm sharing right now. Tokyo 2020 para-triathlon test shortened due to bad water quality. They're not going to let the people swim in the water. The swimming section was canceled Saturday due to high levels of bacteria in the water. Look up. They're spraying poison on us. It's killing everything. Yeah. Even in Tokyo, you can't go swimming. And along those lines, toxic pond algae is killing dogs. How to protect your pooch. Don't let them get in the water because they're spraying poison on you. I mean, you know, or it's just a coincidence that all the water sources, fresh, salt, and everything else are just killing the animals in it. It's just a coincidence, right? And the ships just happen to be dumping toxic fuels and into the air, and the airplanes are dumping toxins into the air. That's a coincidence that everything's dying, right? I'm just silly for believing it. Yeah, I'm crazy. I'm not stupid. And here we go. Last and foremost, time to worry. Silicon Valley wants to read your mind. Listen to me, y'all. If Tech Explorer, which is a fairly mainstream science publication, wow, that was horrible. It's not a publication that's hidden in the depths and hard to find. It's real. They believe this, and they're telling you, time to worry. Silicon Valley wants to read your mind. Now they're going to tell you just how old the technology is. Not content with monitoring almost everything you do online, Facebook now wants to read your mind. Get off Facebook as well. The social media giant recently announced a breakthrough in its plan to create a device that reads people's brainwaves to allow them to type just by thinking. Yeah, I went over that. There's one called Alter Ego. Look that up. And Elon Musk wants to go even further. One of Tesla's boss's other companies, Neuralink, is developing a brain implant to connect people's minds directly to a computer. Now, they go through and tell you how his would just be so far away, blah, blah, blah. AIreligion.com, which is exactly what it sounds like, AIreligion.com. They have an article saying he wants to start implanting some people with Neuralink next year. So, just have to check that out. But yeah, they're ready to read your mind. I'll tell you what, I will take this one in case you're interested in it. It's not in the description, but I will post it over here in the chat. And there we go. If you're interested, well, I guess I posted it in the chat. It didn't show up. There it is. All right. Now, I was looking into some other articles, and some of the stuff I had run into is some of the ice that they are like the ice shelves that had broken off, and say, I don't remember, Iceland, Greenland, whatever. Hey, Jason's life is too short. Glad you're here, man. Thank you for being here. Wow, where did all that come from? My skies. My chat just must have froze up on me a few minutes ago, y'all. I did not see it or know anything was going on. Glad y'all are here. Much love, everybody. I forgot what I was talking about. Data Taker 10, that was right. Yep, that's right. Yeah, Data Taker 10. I was talking about you earlier. You're the one that told me about the, that's the one that told me about the aerotoxic syndrome to begin with. I knew nothing about it, really. I guess my research hadn't got me to that part of it, or I didn't know how to phrase it. I was still searching for requests for proposals. Lucid vertigo. I have a video of these particles in our atmosphere. You can post a link in here, man. I don't care. Go right ahead. Yeah, no Facebook. Somebody asked me one time, hey man, how do I find you on Facebook? I said, only if I slipped up and let somebody else catch me in a picture. So, I think that's the toxic pond algae, the Tokyo water, time to worry, they want to read your mind. NASA's going back to the moon, and they're going to do it from Huntsville, Alabama, the same place they started from, where Werner von Braun was in Huntsville, Alabama. I need to get over there. It's been a long time since I've been over there. I bet some of that landscape, just in general, as far as the way it was, I don't know, say settled, might be pretty interesting. Maybe I should check some of that out. That's the type of stuff, I want to do some stuff like that. I mean, come on. Get out and check it out firsthand. Put your hands on it. See it. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, well, I think that is the end of my news over here. All right. My Skies 5D. If you want to, you can post. I think you can post a link in here. I'm not sure if you can or not. I don't really know exactly how that goes. I'll go back and take a look at how all this worked out, because this is the second stream on YouTube, and everything changes a little bit when I go back and forth, and then I usually crash it. The time gets crazy, but I want y'all to know, everybody that comes by, I hope you get what I'm putting out there, because a lot of people don't. It's right in their face and they don't see it. They can't look up. They can't see the chemtrails. What is the delay in audio to chat? Yeah, I don't know that either. It's kind of crazy. But I'm fixing to go. I got to get together, have dinner with my wife, my kids, and get I don't know. Let me see something. I can find one thing out though. I do know. It's behind a good bit. Well, my stuff's really not working good anyway. I don't know if any of it's working. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Mike Morales comes on tonight at 9:30 with the 16-day forecast. Everybody should be there. And then I will come on and hopefully do a live stream tonight afterwards. And hopefully everything there will go a lot smoother. So I'm going to go spend the rest of the afternoon with my kids and my wife and everything else, and enjoy what we can in this life. And I hope to see all of you back this afternoon, later tonight, at Mike's, and hopefully at the Fallout Shelter on D-Live. So I'm going to come over there and chat for a second if it'll let me chat, and I will see y'all later.